everyone and welcome back. Thanks for pressing play once again. For those of you who are new, I'm Pixel Paul, and for those of you who are returning, thanks for coming back once again. So today, a bit of a gaming grabs video for you. I've not done one for a little bit because I've been trying to be good in the build up to Christmas, making sure that we've got Christmas sorted, before I start spending money on games again. So a lot of my usual budget has gone on to Christmas, but I've had a little bit left over, so I thought today I was going to have a quick look around. Still a little bit of Christmas shopping still to do, so we've done that, which is good. We've managed to box that off. But I did go out today with a bit of an intention of, well, I had like a main target in mind, if you like. So you might remember a couple of videos back, I sold a whole stack of games and got a CEX voucher for them. I did spend a little bit of it, but I had quite a big chunk of that still left, of that voucher. About, I think it was £62 still left. So I'd had an idea of a couple of things that I might want to buy with that voucher. One of them was potentially the big box version of the N64 Lilac Wars, which they did still have in CEX today. They'd actually reduced it from £40 down to £32. But I did ask if I could have a look over it, and the box was a little bit tatty, and there was a tear in the instruction booklet as well. So I did resist today, but yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on that still, because I think at that price it's not bad. But anyway, so yeah, I still had some of that voucher left, and it's funny because I've been playing a lot of Nintendo DS games recently on a DS Lite. And I'm quite enjoying it. I've been playing a lot of Aliens Infestation and Mario Kart, and it's just a console I've never really used all that much. But yeah, I've been playing it quite a bit recently. But I've noticed that the right shoulder button had started to be a little bit twitchy. So it put it in my head, a thought of potentially buying maybe like a 3DS. So I was looking into them. Again, the 3DS was never a console I particularly had before. I'd never really taken an interest in the games massively. You see them around obviously quite a bit, but yeah, it was not one that I've been sort of actively looking through. It was only sort of in the last week or two, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I did a video where I was looking around CEX and noticed quite a few 3DS games then and how cheap they were. So it felt like things were happening in my head where I was thinking, let's go for a 3DS. So I was looking for a 3DS. And I have played on a 3DS before, and I think like most people, played on it and turned the 3D effect off on the console because it didn't really add anything. It was a bit of a gimmick that just didn't quite take off. So when I was looking through 3DS consoles, I totally forgot about the 2DS, which essentially plays all the 3DS games and DS games as well. It just doesn't have the 3DS, the 3D sort of effect button, if you like. So once I'd seen that and how much they were going for, I thought, yeah, I might go for a 2DS, and that's what I was aiming to go out and do today. So I took a little bit of footage of being out and about. I've got a few pickups, a few non-2DS or 3DS games as well. So let's just have a quick look at what I saw in CEX today. so that was just a little bit of footage from CEX, and today that was in Bolton and in Bury. And I picked up a few things specifically for the 3DS or 2DS. But there's one or two other things that I managed to pick up as well while I was out and about. So I'll show you those quickly. This first one, you might remember this. I mentioned it at one of my previous videos. I'd seen it, but didn't pick it up, and then instantly regretted it. Always happens. We always do that, don't we? You see stuff, you put it back, and you think 10 minutes later, you think, oh, I should have got that. Yeah, I went back to, it was a game in Bury, and they still had this game. So while it was there, I thought I would grab that. I had to make a second trip back because with it being Christmas, it was so busy. There's so many people doing the Christmas shopping and what have you, and the queuing game there was absolutely huge. So I gave up the first time around and then went back, and it was still there. I expected it to be, really, because I'd hidden it. Yeah, when I got back, the queue wasn't too bad. Anyway, the game was Silence. So I'd spotted this a couple of weeks ago in game. It caught my eye. I'd never heard of it before, but it looked really sort of interesting, right up my street. But at that time, I didn't have a clue what it was about, so I did leave it behind. But for $2.99, I thought that might be worth a go, and I did a little bit of research into it and what the game was about. Essentially, it's a bit of a point-and-click adventure, from what I can gather. When you look at the back of the box, it kind of looks like some sort of 3D open world type game, but it's actually a bit of a point-and-click adventure set around the main character there. I can't remember the name, but it's about him and his sister. It's set in World War II. They escaped to like a bunker to escape like a bombardment. And while they're in there, they're kind of then caught between two worlds of life and death. And the world is called Silence, and the little girl goes missing. So the big brother goes off to try and find her. Just sounded really interesting, I think, with the World War II element in there as well. Just sort of made it stand out a little bit. So yeah, interested to see what that one's like. And for $2.99, actually sells at the moment in CEX for £6. So for $2.99, I thought that was a bit of a good grab, that. So yeah, quite looking forward to giving that one a go. Silence. Next up, and this is a game. This is a game I've been after for a long time. I know I kind of say that in every video, but I do have like a little book upstairs which has all these games which I write down, and just to help me remember which games I'm sort of looking for specifically. And I tend to track some of those games as well. Certainly the ones that aren't as readily available, I'll be trying to track them on the CEX app and on eBay and all places. And this is a game that has I've not been able to find it out and about in the wild. CEX have had a few copies of it, but not sort of near to me. The price has gone up a little bit and down a little bit. It's kind of fluctuated. So I spotted it in the CEX in Bury today. And like I say, I've been tracking it on the app and didn't realise that they had a copy. So when I saw it in there, it was quite a big surprise. You probably saw me picking it up in the footage before. So yeah, to see it there, I was like, wow, it's there. Gotta grab it. And I did. And it is Jet Li's Rise to Honor on the PlayStation 2. So that was £10. Now that it has been about £12 at one point. It might have even been a little bit more than that at one point. But at the moment, £10. Essentially, it's a bit of a kind of 3D beat 'em up, with a sort of Streets of Rage kind of element to it. There's a bit of shooting in it too. But I just remember, because I played it before a long time ago, but it was kind of like a little bit more tricky to sort of control, with different sticks doing different kinds of punches and different kinds of kicks. Just stood out a little bit. It's a little bit different, but there's gunplay in there as well. It's essentially like a John Woo game in a way. If you've ever watched any of the John Woo movies, it's a bit like along those lines, really. Yeah, Jet Li actually features in the game as well. I'm a big fan of Jet Li and Jet Li movies. So yeah, I've been after this for ages. Because like I say, I did had a copy of it back in the day. Sold it, and yeah, it's just one that's been on my hit list for a while. So really pleased to grab that today. Rise to Honor. Whenever someone asks me, "Oh, what are you looking for at the moment?" the first game that always comes to mind is Rise to Honor. So yeah, chuffed to get that today. Really looking forward to playing it again. So that was from CEX in Bury. While I was in there, I actually was approached by someone who recognised me, which was the first time that's ever actually happened. They recognised me from from this channel, and yeah, they came over and introduced themselves to me. And we had a bit of a chat, and it was dead nice. It was kind of weird to actually meet somebody who knew me from YouTube for the first time. But yeah, we had a really nice chat, and he actually caught up with me in the shop a little bit later on and just mentioned that he'd seen in a charity shop around the corner in Bury a stack of gaming steelbooks in a charity shop. He did say that all of these steelbooks were empty. There was no games in them. Very odd that they wouldn't have the games in them. I'm not sure why someone would take the games out and then just take the steelbooks to a charity shop, but there was loads there. Quite a few of them I'd already got. But yeah, so I've missed the guy. I missed whoever the guy's name was. So apologies if you're watching this today. Make yourself known in the comments, will you? So I can thank you again, because I did manage to pick one up from there. I'm so sorry I didn't catch your name, but yeah, just let me know who you are in my sort of subscribers list, and I'll say thank you. But yeah, it was a good shout actually, because like I say, there was loads of steelbooks in there. They were about £1 and £2 in price. And yeah, there was some good ones actually. There was Halo Wars. There was a lot of Xbox 360, Halo Wars, a couple of Call of Duties. I think Black Ops 3 was in there. There was a Mass Effect one. A lot of them were missing the slipcase that comes with steelbooks as well. But like I say, so a lot of them I got because I do like to collect steelbooks. But there was one there which caught my eye, and it was Gears of War 3, and it was £2, as you can see. Empty. But yeah, I mean, for £2 to get the steelbook, I've obviously got Gears of War 3. There was a manual in there as well. Really cool inside artwork in this one as well. I'm not sure how much this steelbook's going for in CEX at the moment. But what I'll probably do is just take the game from the normal standard box and stick it in there and add that to the steelbook collection. So yeah, it was a really good shout, because I wasn't going to head round that way where the charity shop was. In fact, I wasn't going to go in any charity shops today anyway. So yeah, so thanks to that guy who recognised me and gave me the heads up on that one, because I really appreciate it. It was a good find, that one. So the kind of main object of the gaming grabs or game hunt today was that 2DS. So I'd seen on CEX they had quite a few different models around, but I just wanted the basic cheapest 2DS I could find, and the cheapest ones go for £55. There's like a black and blue version and a white and red version. So of the two, I wanted to get the white and red one. I just thought it looked quite cool. So I had to go to Bolton CEX to get that. So that was a trip back home on the way back from Bury today. The weather has been absolutely awful. So it's been such a miserable day. So it was just, it was a bit of a slog to get to then, to stop off in Bolton and then get out of the car again and get to CEX. I'm sorry if you can hear any of if any of this rain is interfering with the sound, but because it's absolutely battering it down out there, but hopefully not. But yeah, I made the trip into that CEX. They still had it there, as you saw in the footage before, and I picked it up, and that is my new Nintendo 2DS. And early impressions are, I'm quite impressed with it. I quite like it. It's actually a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be. So for a sort of size comparison, say, that's your standard DS Lite, and that's the 2DS. So it's actually a little bit smaller than the normal Nintendo DS. So I was a little bit surprised at that. But yeah, the screens do feel or look a little bit better, bigger, sorry. Just in comparison to the Game Boy as well. So yeah, just to give you a bit of sense of scale. because I've never really clocked or looked at these before. But it's really sort of comfortable to use. Actually, I have relatively sort of big hands, and I've always found it really uncomfortable using certainly the DS Lite. I don't know whether it's because your hands are kind of so sort of concentrated on the small, the only half of the actual console. Just found it really hard to use that sometimes. So this is actually quite decent to use and to hold, and it's quite comfortable. But yeah, I've been quite impressed with it. Nice. It's not it's not in bad condition. There is a small scratch on the screen there, but I've seen worse, and I can live with that, to be honest. So yeah, really impressed with it. Really nice little console. And it plays obviously normal DS games as well as the 3DS games, which I've picked a stack up of. So I'll show you the games that I've actually picked up. Actually, what I'll do is show you a little bit of footage of the 2DS in action. So I'll do that, grab my cup of tea as always, and then show you which games I picked up for it.
The answer lies in the heart of battle.
It's the battle of the century. Fight!
So that was the 2DS in action, and as you can see, I think it's not a bad console. Obviously then playing Street Fighter 4, and it looks really good for a handheld game. I thought I'm quite impressed with it actually. So yeah, happy to have picked it up. So yeah, let's have a quick look at the games that I've picked up. I've not picked up loads, but there's a couple of CEXs where I have actually looked at 3DS games. Been surprised at how cheap some of them are. So there weren't as many sort of really low price games in the two that I went to today. But I know you can get quite a few games for like £1, £2, £3, and those are probably the ones that I'll start to look at first. And obviously there's some big hitters as well. You might have spotted it in that footage then. One of the CEXs had a copy of Castlevania, Mirrors of Fate, which I didn't realise that was a 3DS game, but yeah, £28, that's quite expensive I think for a 3DS game, but possibly one I may put on my hit list. If I go back there tomorrow, it'll probably be gone. But yeah, I've got a bit of a short list of other games that I'd like to pick up, but let's have a quick look at the ones that I have picked up today. So obviously you saw it before, Street Fighter 4 3D edition. So we'll be playing it without the 3D effect. But yeah, £4, not a bad price for that one, I don't think. So yeah, quite impressed with that. Next up, Ghost Recon Shadow Wars. That was only £2. So like I say, I was kind of looking for the more sort of lower end budget kind of games today. Apologies, my camera kind of cut out then, I don't know why. Anyway, Ghost Recon Shadow Wars. Yeah, so yeah, it was one of the cheaper games from today. £2, not bad, give it a go. Don't know anything about it to be honest, but I've played Ghost Recon before, always enjoyed them. So yeah, another one to add to the collection. This is another one that I'd spotted a couple of weeks ago. It's Dead or Alive Dimensions. I've got quite a lot of the Dead or Alive games now. With this one added, I think I'm only missing one, and it's the PSP Dead or Alive Paradise, I think it's called, which isn't that cheap. So, and it's not that common actually. I was looking on the CEX app the other day, and there's not too many copies of that left around. So we'll find it somewhere. But yeah, Dead or Alive Dimensions for £3. Another beat 'em up. Splinter Cell 3D, again £2. Can't beat a bit of Splinter Cell. So yeah, another good one. And then Monster Hunter Generations, that was £4. Yeah, and then so the one that I spent a little bit extra money on, and it was one of the games that I sort of earmarked to get. I wanted to pick this one up if I could today, and it is Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. So I'm a big fan of the A Link to the Past, so I did want to try and pick this one up today, and I did. £15. Not the most expensive 3DS game, not the cheapest either, but yeah, really pleased I was able to pick that one up today. So yeah, so happy with that. Some good games, some good pickups, a good start to the 3DS collection. Another console for me to collect for. Another console that I've got to fit into the gaming wall behind me. But it's all good fun, isn't it? That's the aim of the game. So yeah, good days hunt. That got exactly what I was looking for really, and a little bit extra. So yeah, if you've liked this video, if you want to drop a subscribe, that would be great. If you've liked it, if you can give it a thumbs up, and yeah, if you're in CEX, drop a comment below and make yourself known to me. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. Thanks.